And now for a Next News special report.
In a jaw-dropping spectacle outside the Trump so-called hush money trial, House Freedom Caucus members fearlessly rallied to the former president's defense. But it was the sudden appearance of a U-Haul truck that left onlookers absolutely stunned, and you won't believe what emerged from inside and floated over the courthouse. Stay tuned for my full report on this wild turn of events that has the whole country buzzing, and you don't want to miss my final thought. Now, folks, the Trump trial is heating up like a scorching summer day, and many Americans are feeling the burn of AC rising bills. Just like Trump's allies refuse to back down in the face of adversity, you too can fight back against greedy utility companies with this game-changing mini AC unit. Place it anywhere and enjoy hours of icy cold relief, potentially even during a life-saving blackout. Now, don't sweat the trial or the bills. Visit EasySummerCool.com now for up to 60% off, a 60-day guarantee, and fast shipping. Keep your cool and your cash like these unwavering Trump supporters. Now, in a stunning display of loyalty, members of the House Freedom Caucus converged outside the courthouse where former President Donald Trump's hush money trial is underway. Their mission? To mount a vigorous defense of Trump and call out what they see as a blatant attempt to derail his 2024 presidential bid. Leading the charge was Representative Matt Gaetz, who kicked off a fiery press conference by slamming the star witness Michael Cohen as a serial liar. Gaetz pulled no punches. Watch.
Well, I'm honored to be here with my colleagues from the House Freedom Caucus, where we watched Michael Cohen get dog-walked through the series of lies he has told. There is literally no branch of government that Michael Cohen has not lied to. He lied to investigators. He lied to the judge who sentenced him. He lied to the United States Congress, and he committed these lies for his own benefit. And while we're talking about what we saw in that courtroom going on for people's own benefit, we would be remiss if we did not mention this corrupt judge, this judge whose own family is making six figures off of Democrat politics that continues to gaslight the country that there's some sort of crime committed by President Trump. This is a made-up crime. No other American in the country would be charged with this type of crime. It's like the Mr. Potato Head doll of crimes, where they had to stick together a bunch of things that did not belong together. Observing the jury, I could see that there was a great appreciation for the liar that Michael Cohen was, and we are not getting a fair shake in front of this judge. The prosecutors don't even have to state the basis for their objections. He's agreeing with the prosecutors without even hearing argument on these objections, and there should be evidence getting in about the depth and breadth of Michael Cohen's lies that we're not seeing entered into it. And so we're here voluntarily supporting our friend President Trump, the leader of our movement, the leader of our party, and soon again the leader of this great country.
God bless him. As you saw, he took aim at the presiding judge, accusing him of bias due to his daughter's ties to Democrat funding. Gaetz painted the entire trial as a made-up crime and a Mr. Potato Head doll of crimes, and insisting that no other American would face such charges. Representative Bod Good echoed Gaetz' sentiments, asserting that Democrats are desperately trying to steal or rig the upcoming election by keeping Trump off the ballot and ruining him financially. He minced no words, labeling the trial as a crooked sham orchestrated by a corrupt prosecutor, witness, and a judge. Watch.
We're seeing today what lengths the Democrat Party will go to try to rig or steal another election. They tried to do it in 2020. They're doing it again here in 24 by trying to keep the nominee off the ballot, by trying to keep the nominee from campaigning, by trying to ruin the nominee financially. And we're seeing that today. We saw the perjurer in chief, Michael Cohen, multiple times admit and acknowledge that he has lied under oath, he's perjured himself, and yet we're supposed to believe his testimony as the star witness against President Trump. This is lawfare, again, to try to steal or to rig an election. You got a corrupt prosecutor, you got a corrupt star witness, you got a corrupt judge whose daughter is one of the leading fundraisers for the Democrat Party, having raised some $100 million. That's the judge's daughter. This is a crooked sham trial to try to hurt the nominee who's going to be the president of the United States, whether or not they like it or whether or not they want that to happen. President Trump is going to be reelected.
Next up was Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who took issue with the lack of transparency in the courtroom. Luna questioned why cameras were banned, suggesting that the proceedings were above board. There should be nothing to hide. She also pointed out the suspicious connection between the Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, Goldman, who prepped Cohen for his testimony and is retained by the judge's daughter as a client. Watch.
Thank you. I also want to point out that they are telling people that they can't have cameras in the courtroom, but if they had nothing to hide, and if they're truly being honest about this, why is it that you guys can't be in the courtroom and see exactly what we're seeing? Just because we're members of Congress does not mean we have authority more than you guys to know exactly what's happening in that courtroom. So just an update. The president is doing well. He's in good spirits. We are here today because we know that this is nonsense and should not be happening in the United States of America. Furthermore, to Cohen, who admitted to lying to members of Congress, that's contempt of Congress, just so that you are tracking. And I want to follow it up by saying this. It is by no coincidence that you have Goldman, a member of House Oversight who's a Democrat, prepared Cohen for his testimony, is also retained by the judge's daughter as a client. Does that seem like it's not sham to you? It is corrupt lawfare. It's the Biden prosecutions, and Biden, you're going to lose this election cycle.
Wow. Thank God they're all out there. Representative Lauren Boebert, she took the mic to accuse the radical left and the weaponized DOJ of targeting Trump because they fear his political comeback. And she praised Trump for standing up for the American people and vowed that he and his supporters are not going anywhere. And she tore into Cohen's credibility, highlighting his past lies, tax fraud, and explicit bias against Trump. Watch.
The radical left wants President Trump to simply go away. And if President Trump just went away, this would all go away as well. They do not want him to be in this race. They know that he is the #1 candidate for president of the United States for the 2024 election, and they are doing everything that they can to interfere in yet another election. Well, I got news for the radical left and the weaponized DOJ. President Trump is not going anywhere. He's coming back for another 4 years, and we are not going anywhere either. We are here to stand with him as he stands up for you, the American people. He has laid everything on the line to defend our great nation, and I'm so grateful for him. Sitting in that court today, seeing the lack of credibility from Michael Cohen, who has lied in front of all branches of Congress, of government. This is an issue. Someone who is an admitted liar, who has committed tax fraud, someone who has a podcast, who screams explicitives against President Trump, saying that it would be better for him, that he can't wait for President Trump to be locked up behind bars. Someone who wears a shirt with President Trump behind bars. He said today in court even that it would personally affect him, the outcome of this case. The outcome of this case personally affects Cohen. Everything that he has done personally affects him, and he wants President Trump to suffer. That is why he has done what he has done. That's why he has told the lies that he has. And we are here today to counter those as we stand for our friend, President Donald J. Trump. And I appreciate the millions of Americans who stand in defense of him while we have corrupt judges who he's not even allowed to speak of because of their corruptness. A corrupt judge whose daughter is making some $100 million, raising $100 million for campaigns against President Trump. This is a scam. It is a sham. It is a show. And we are here to expose every bit of it. Mr. President, we stand with you.
But it was Representative Andy Ogles who delivered the most stinging rebuke, comparing the trial to a bad joke involving a convicted felon and a hooker. He slammed the proceedings as a persecution rather than a prosecution, alleging a two-tier justice system that could target anyone if a former president isn't safe. Watch.
Andy Ogles. You know, if I started a story with a convicted felon and a hooker walk into a bar, you would immediately know that it's a joke. Well, that's what we have here, a joke of a trial.
We have a convicted felon who has a vengeance against the president. We have a woman who is paid for sex with a vengeance against the president. This is not a prosecution. This is a persecution. We have a two-tier justice system in this country. And if a former president can be targeted by a woke and corrupt judge, then you can be targeted as well. Mr. President, we've got your back.
As impassioned as the Freedom Caucus's defense of Trump was, it was the sudden appearance of that U-Haul truck that truly left jaws on the floor. Onlookers couldn't believe their eyes as the vehicle released a flood of pink balloons, each emblazoned with the faces of DA Alvin Bragg, Judge Merchan, and Prosecutor Jack Smith, all grotesquely shaped like male genitalia. The irreverent display floated over the courthouse, adding an almost comical air to the tense atmosphere. Watch this.
This U-Haul just let out dozens of balloons with whose face? Judge Juan Merchan. We saw a couple of Alvin Bragg.
Oh, Jack Smith. Jack Smith.
Oh no. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Penises. They're all a bunch of penises.
It's all different faces.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Just floating above the courthouse. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's time for my final thought. The courageous stand taken by the House Freedom Caucus members outside the Trump trial deserves applause. In the face of what they see as a blatant political hit job, these representatives refuse to back down, echoing the unbreakable spirit of the MAGA movement. And to the audacious mastermind behind the genital-shaped balloon spectacle, bravo for injecting some much-needed levity into this tense saga. As the battle rages on, one thing is clear: Trump's allies remain unwaveringly strong and in his corner.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.